Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the Ed Word. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be sharing and discussing my thoughts on the final and solid 3 episodes of the second and sadly final season of the hit Star Wars show Andor. It dropped its final 3 episodes earlier this evening on Disney Plus. I just got done watching it. Oh my goodness, what a watch it was. Now, before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you're not caught up on Andor by the latest and final 3 episodes, you don't want to keep watching or listening, as I will be dropping massive spoilers throughout this entire video. So if you're behind on episodes 10, 11, 12, don't keep watching or listening, because I will be revealing bombshells. Okay. That being said, you have been warned. Spoilers starting now. Oh, man, what a show. What a show. Oh, God. I figured... I'm not at all surprised that Luthen's story ended in death. Mostly because we just simply never see him again pop up anywhere in the Star Wars universe. So I'm not at all surprised that he died. And I wasn't too surprised he took his own life. This guy was so committed to the cause, to the rebellion, that he would have done anything to protect it, include taking his own life. And I think he knew his days were numbered, especially after his conversation with Lonnie there. Now, that was surprising. Well, kind of surprising how he murdered Lonnie after he just spilled the beans and told him everything about the Death Star, Dedra, everything. But it was surprising, but not surprising, because it's like, damn, Luthen really would go to those depths, and I guess I wasn't too surprised that he did kill him after all. I suspected Luthen's journey would end in death. Like, I kind of thought he'd go out a bit more heroically, but in a way, he did go out heroically, even though Clea took him off life support. I knew she wasn't going there to save him. She was going there to kill him, to finish him off, so he can't reveal all the secrets he knows about the rebellion and the Rebel Alliance and everything. So I knew this wasn't a rescue mission, but more of an assassination. Of course, it killed her to do it because he was like a father figure, as the flashbacks revealed, which again wasn't too surprising considering their closeness. I liked how he took her under his wing, adopted her. In that final flashback, it kind of looks like they were on Naboo almost, or a planet like Naboo, but it was a cool detail. What goes around comes around, and I guess that's truer than ever for Dedra, ending up in an Imperial prison after being thought of being accused of a rebel spy, especially since she let Axis die under her watch, basically. And, the Empire needed to blame somebody for everything that went wrong with Luthen. So, of course, she went down, and I guess her boss took his own life as well. But, I don't know, I was kind of feeling bad for her with everything that happened on Gorman and the shit that happened to Searle, but as these episodes went along and her confrontation with Luthen began, I quickly found myself disliking her very much. But by the end of this show, by the end of the 12th episode, I was like, oh good, she's in prison, she's going to be stuck there for a while, so I was pleased to see that. Oh god, there's so much to talk about. I was so happy, so incredibly happy to see that one of my favorite characters from Rogue One made a surprise, well, maybe not a surprise appearance. It made sense that they made an appearance. Admiral Raddus returned in a brief capacity, but he returned, and he was awesome as one of the Rebel Alliance's top dogs and bosses. Of course, he would be there on Yavin, meeting with Mon Mothma, meeting with Bail Organa, General Draven. So, of course, he'd be there. It would make total sense, and I love seeing they brought him back, because he was easily one of my favorite characters in Rogue One. So, thank you very much for bringing him back. Oh my god, what a highlight K2SO was. He was just as funny, witty, and unfiltered as ever, and of course he was the one who saved the day when the Imperials were closing in on Melshi, Cassian, and Clea. Of course, he just casually walks off the ship, beats up and kills every Imperial that crosses his path just in time to save his friends from capture. And he did it the whole time completely deadpan, and it was hilarious. So well done, Alan Tudyk. You were hilarious and awesome, like everything you do. It was so damn good. Oh, God, and there's still so much to talk about. I loved how everything kind of collectively wrapped up and how the final scenes in the final episode were basically tying into the opening scene of Rogue One. I really enjoyed that. It shows Cassian and K2 on their way to meet the guy with his arm in a sling in the opening scene of Rogue One. It shows the rebel leaders slowly coming around to the idea of the possibility of a Death Star. It showed our surviving characters happily surviving on Yavin, Will and his girlfriend, Mon Mothma and her cousin, Clea as well. So it's nice to see that the characters we wanted to see survive, including a surprise appearance by Bix, who's carrying his baby, Andor's little baby boy or girl. It could have been either one. But it seems like she was pregnant when she left Cassian, had their child, and now she's back on that farming world with his original droid, with his little droid buddy, the little red guy. He's still there too. How awesome. A little heartbreaking. Well, not a little. Very heartbreaking knowing that we as the audience know that Cassian ain't never coming back. So Bix is going to be being left there on that planet with his child, waiting for him to come back after the Galactic Civil War is won. But sadly, we all know that ain't going to happen. It will be interesting to see in any future installments of Star Wars if we ever learn, or if Bix ever learned of Cassian's fate. Because that kid by now would be in their late 20s, early 30s, considering the 30-year gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So that kid would be an adult by now if they ever do anything with that, but then again, they may not. But it is a nice way of letting us know that Cassian Andor may be dead or does die in Rogue One, but it's nice to know that his legacy lives on through Bix and through their child. So I thought that was a really nice final touch in the final episode there. I gotta say, I am extremely pleased with how these final 3 episodes played out, and I'm very pleased overall with how amazing the second season was in general. And everything that wrapped up in the final episode was quite satisfactory, with characters' fates, where they ended up, and where they're going to end up, and the state of the Empire, the state of the Rebel Alliance. So it was all quite satisfying and a wonderful lead-in right into the opening scene of Rogue One, which of course I'm going to watch now that I'm done watching Andor. So I hope you guys enjoyed the final 3 episodes of Andor as much as I did. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings down below in the comments section. Oh, by the way, hats off to Benjamin Bratt for an amazing performance as Bail Organa. Yeah, it's not Jimmy Smits, but you know what? He was unavailable, guys. It happens with actors. So recastings happen all the time. And you know what? Benjamin Bratt did a wonderful job, and I love that one of the last things he ever said to Cassian was, "May the Force be with you." So I love that. All right, have a wonderful rest of your night, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Andor Season 2 is now streaming in its entirety on Disney+, along with Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.